And as the days go on since this horrific mass shooting, we're learning more about the suspected shooter's past and his views about the LDS Church and its members. Joining me now is Kris Johns, who is actually running for city council in the city of Burton, where the suspected shooter lived. And while Kris was canvassing for his campaign, he actually spoke to the suspected shooter just days before the attack at the LDS Church in Grand Blanc. Kris, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. This has got to be just absolutely surreal for you, having that encounter with him just days prior to this incident. What was that encounter like?
Again, that's the word I would use, is surreal. And it was at a case where, again, I'm campaigning, I'm going door to door. I've never been to this home before. And he was extremely positive. I pulled into his driveway. He met me. I asked if I could speak to him. He did. And really within minutes of a quick overview, he asked me questions. The first question was about guns. Then the next question was about what I thought about Mormons.
What you thought about Mormons. He went right into that. What was your reaction when he started talking about that?
It's shocking. I mean, I expect presidential politics, state level politics to be discussed, but nothing really related to religion. That was the first time. And it was a very direct, and I could immediately tell that this was something he had been thinking about, that he had real interest in. And I do have a very loose connection to the LDS faith. My cousin played football at BYU. A good friend is in leadership in Orem. But ultimately, I told him what I knew, but each successive question was more pointed and direct.
And what were his thoughts about the LDS Church? What were you able to gather from his questioning to you about what he thought about the LDS Church?
It was twofold. One, he had put a lot of thought to both the faith and the religions and the practices, but I could very much tell that he really had an issue with the faith. At one point, he was a person with tattoos. He said, they told me I had to have my tattoos removed. And again, while he was calm, he was collected, I could definitely tell that this was something that was a real issue with him.
And he used some terminology about the LDS Church. How did he describe that church?
Ultimately, he said Mormons are the Antichrist, and he said that several times. And that is something that you do not forget in general conversation, let alone somebody you have met for just less than 20 minutes. And that is something that I walked away with. While very inflammatory and insensitive, it wasn't anything, he didn't say it in a way that would indicate any sort of maliciousness or vindictive potential behavior. And that's really the part that's shocking, is that this is something he truly believes and had thought a lot about, but didn't say it in a way that would indicate violence.
And when the news broke that this had happened and the pictures started coming out and the name came out, what went through your mind when you realized you had just spoken to this man just days prior?
Well, it was twofold. Like, I was in church when I heard the news and I did not make the connection. And when the name was released, I did not make the connection. It wasn't until I saw a photo of him that I immediately knew this person took away his own son's father, and he took away other people's parents. And that's the part that's truly shocking, where he had a genuine interaction with my child that as a father that I saw was truly genuine. And 6 days later, he turns his truck into a missile.
Well, Kris Johns, running for city council in Burton, thank you for taking the time. Scary, surreal, tragic. There's so many words to describe this, but I think everyone's just trying to wrap our heads around making sense of it. Thank you for sharing your interaction. It really paints a picture. Thank you.
Thank you.